Hey, Desiree here with Soulpath Astrology and this week's energy report and three-card tarot spread. If you're new here to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Quick rundown on what to expect. At the beginning of the video, I'm going to do a little chat about either the astrology or just the energetic download that I'm feeling this week, followed by a short meditation, then an opportunity to select from three cards. At that point, you can timestamp fast forward to the ones that resonate, listen to them all straight through, whatever lands for you, whatever feels most true. This channel is all about connecting to this inner guidance system, to this part inside us that knows. If you're returning, hello, welcome back, Soul Fam. As always, I so appreciate your energy and your contribution to this page, to this space, to the cosmic soup that we're all building together. Okay, so without further ado, rather than focusing on the astrology this week, I was really feeling called to just chat about the energy, about what seems to be bubbling up and arising in the field generally in my own personal life and in those closest to me, because I find that it often mirrors the collective. Not always, of course, but often enough that it can be a useful approach to navigating what's going on and to lending a degree of real life, like grounded. It's one thing to talk about ideas, it's one thing to talk about philosophy and concepts. It's another thing to see how those arise in real life. And I'm so about real life, which ties into the theme. And let me know what's going on in you. What is your theme? Comment below. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel. It helps immensely. Your comments in YouTube help immensely. Hitting that like button, so grateful for that. Please do that if you are finding value in these. Yeah. So what's been coming up this week in my personal sphere energetically, and what might be something you can meet your life with and see some overlap and a sense of connection, and maybe a couple tools to take with you that you can take forward into your own life's path, your own journey. So it's been an incredibly disruptive week in that there's been some very interesting truths that have come to light, and recognizing this really interesting energy with the masculine. And by that, I mean literally the men, but I also mean that impulse, that forward motion impulse. And when that is harnessed from a depth of integrity, from a depth of like 100% honesty, from a place of slowing down first and being willing to sit in your vulnerability, in the unknowing, in the stillness, and just waiting patiently in that space, meeting yourself where you really are, things arise, stuff arises, feelings come up. I'm going to offer that I am not the only one that is probably experiencing some like incredibly long-standing patterns with your relationship to power. Now, power might manifest as money because there is power in money. There's freedom in having enough money that you can solve some problems with it. A lot is coming up around belief systems and family stories, and almost like this is how we do it in the family. So what's been coming up and what I want us to put forward for your own consideration in your life is, where might you be going along to get it along? Where might you be okay with a white lie because you actually believe it's smoothing things out? Because what I'm discovering, what I'm really experiencing on a very tangible level, is where people are doing that, where they're offering only a half truth. It is just so messy, and it is just creating so much pain and suffering in the lives near them. And also how vital it is to clean up our inner life, to clean up our own like connection to our own wisdom center. Like, so this means really being mindful of the substances that you're taking in, really being mindful of the shows that you watch, the lyrics of the sound, like music that you're listening to, the kinds of podcasts that you're listening to, all of this stuff, right? It's like, it's a way of ingesting. And is it supporting or is it hiding? Is it creating a safe and nourishing nest for you, or is it numbing you? Right? Like, so there's a lot of that kind of energy that's coming up right now, and especially this time of year, because Lord knows there's no shortage of of stuff that comes up around the Christmas season, right? I mean, whether your family of origin is getting along great guns, or it's falling apart at the seams, or it's something in between. Maybe you've had loved ones like me who've passed away recently, and this is going to be your first Christmas without them. Like, there's a lot coming up. Maybe plans that you had made that are now suddenly dashed. Maybe you're being asked to stand in a truth that in order to honor your own boundary, it is going to alienate you from your family, where you're being presented with this impossible choice of having to honor yourself and lose your family, or self betray to keep your family. Where are all the places that you self abandon and self betray, or tell yourself it's not that bad? And in so doing, abandon your own very real needs, wants, and boundaries, your own very healthy self advocacy in order to get along. Because these things add up. They're like, sometimes they're huge slashes, other times it's just death by a million cuts. But it's like every time that we aren't able to show up in the truth of our honesty, we're essentially telling ourselves, I don't trust that I can handle the truth. I don't trust that I can handle the situation in the fullness of its expression, that honesty is dangerous and that I can't handle it. So for many of us, there was times in our life where that was actually true, where we literally couldn't handle it, or where, to be fully honest, actually resulted in violence. And if that's where you're at right now, like if actual violence is on the line, then, I mean, that's a different situation. What I'm talking about is where our psyche is afraid of violence, where we're still acting from the shadow of the past, but in our actual current circumstances, we're not three anymore. We're fully fledged adults. We can defend ourselves, or we're speaking to somebody who's not physically abusive. It's just it's a fear, right? It's the shadow. Can I handle getting yelled at? Can I handle being shamed by this person? Can I stand in the fire of my truth and my integrity and just have my own back? Because it's in foraging that kind of a foundation, that solid, I'm going to stand for this truth. I am going to, even if my body trembles, even if my voice shakes, I'm not going to abandon myself anymore. I'm no longer going to go along to get along, because in that self-abandonment, it's actually the worst betrayal there is. And from my own personal experience, I can tell you something. The more that I self-abandoned in my life, the more that I self-betrayed, inevitably I betrayed those around me. I abandoned those around me in my journey through alcoholism. Fuck, the amount of having to see that, the actions, because at the time I didn't see it. At the time I thought I was honoring myself. I thought I was doing what was in the highest and best. But how can you know that if your view is distorted? If your view is numbed out? If your view and your connection to your deepest self is in some way impeded by some kind of an addiction, whether that's scrolling or keeping busy or just getting tired or overwhelmed or just talking endlessly about your issues, but never actually taking any kind of step to correct them, maybe it is actually substance addiction. Maybe it's sex addiction. Maybe it's relationship addiction, where you're just always having to be having people around, where you just can't be in your own company. These are all these ways that we fill the space, the void, so that we don't have to be present for ourselves. But if you can make it through that rite of passage, if you can face yourself, can you be with the feelings that you have? Do you have anyone in your life that you can be witnessed in this, who won't move to minimalize it or justify it or in any other way move you through it, rather just witness you in it and mirror back what they hear you saying, so that you can yourself finish digesting these things and move through this rite of passage into this way more grounded, way more embodied, like way more solid sense of who you are. And from that place, it radiates from you and it becomes a contagion, allowing others to be able to really stand in their own truth too, to really arrive for each other in the fullness of our honesty and our vulnerability and our realness. Integrity is a coherence between your mind, your body, your heart, your spirit. It's when you're no longer running and hiding from yourself, but rather you're standing in it and finding the beauty in even the most darkest, crunchiest parts of your psyche. So that's the energy report. Let's do a quick little meditation. And in the spirit of the solstice and the returning of the light, I just want to invite you to come to your breath. It is often the simplest things that are the most profound. And our breath and gazing on a candle, a burning flame, can be all you need to really arrive home in your space. And if it feels uncomfortable, that just means you have some decluttering to do. And that's totally okay. So let's do the decluttering. Breathing in, I create space. Breathing out, I surrender. One last deep breath. Fully arriving here in this time and space with yourself. And exhale, feeling the weight of your body in the space, held and supported on every level, in every iteration, on every zone of anything. Here you are in this space, one with it all. And so it is. Okay, let's jump into the cards. Here they are. You may make your selection at this point. Card 1, card 2, card 3. And let us begin with card 1, if this was your selection, the 8 of Wands. This is a card of quick action, of divine inspiration, of it's like act now. There's going to be opportunities that are arising. There's a quickening. So even though we're in the dead of winter, if this is your card, it's acknowledging that there's like a quickening of something. Maybe you've already stepped through an initiatory process and now you're really starting to gain some steam, moving forward into this new evolutionary phase in your life. Maybe you've received some really amazing downloads and you're feeling this like impulse, this forward motion impulse. Go for it. There's very much like a picking up speed kind of energy with this card. And so I want to encourage you, if it was your selection, to do what you need to do to feel supported as things speed up for you. Now, whether that's like really mundane, like creating a calendar system and having it all amalgamated into one, or creating a spreadsheet for you to track all your expenses, or maybe you're getting a whole bunch of great book ideas, then, create a note where you can keep track of them as the ideas pop in. Like create some kind of infrastructure to support this really quick energy that's coming in, and just roll with it. Support yourself so that you don't feel overwhelmed by it, but don't like shrink down. Like know that there's this expansive lightness that's coming in. So roll with it, stretch open into it, ask, pray for guidance for your ability, your capacity to open to receive this muchness of ideas and action and energy that's coming into your field right now. How exciting. Okay, let's do card two. Card two, here we go. Your selection. What do we have? The 10 of Pentacles. Ah, love this. This is about legacy. This can sometimes be about our ancestors and like having their wisdom, their gifts coming online. There's a huge quality of, because it's Pentacles, of like financial fullness or wise investments. There's like a long game kind of energy with it. Sometimes this has to do with inheritance. So maybe you're going to get an inheritance of some fashion. The 10 is always about some kind of completion. And so this could really have like I'm just getting this like energy of like gold sparkles and like ding 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 ding, like the sound of money like piling up like gold coins, and just like let that in, like let in this. And actually how it might tie in with the first card too, it's like it's rushing in. It's rushing in. Ideas, opportunities, collaborations, like I everything, there's this rushing in of assets, this rushing in of resources. Open to receive it. Like really give yourself permission to and use it wisely. Like this has to do with investing and like long-term, like generational wealth. And wealth is obviously financial, and I might circle back and really like double click on that, but wealth is also a wealth of time, a wealth of wisdom, a wealth of gifts in the creative sense and in the skill set sense. And sometimes it's super mundane. Like I just recently launched another service in my other business, my Delightful by Design, which is like a nest building service. It has to do with staging your house to sell and decorating when you move in, helping you nest in and really create a functional and supportive space for your new home. And now, and the other thing I do is rework what you already have if you're not moving. If you just want to stay where you are and you want to make it a more useful space, that's too. But now I've added cleaning, like just straight up cleaning. And I do energetic work while I'm in there too. I mean, it's like I'm bringing in the positive vibes, and there's something so amazingly powerful about just cleaning the corners and like behind the couch and where like the dust bunnies are living. And it seems so ridiculous, and yet I'm getting this feeling that this is actually going to be the foundation stone of my generational wealth that I build for my family. And it's funny because it's just like the most basic thing. And that's often how these things are, they're built on a foundation that's just so solid, and it's sometimes a surprise, like especially in the spiritual community. Like we're so conditioned to look like out there and in the woo woo and like it's past lives and it's energy and it's spirit, and all of that is super beautiful, and I'm not discounting it. But sometimes the answer to your question is in the most simplest, mundane 3D thing in the whole world. And the pentacles, like, so this is the 10 of Pentacles, that suit is often about the mundane 3D world. So simple you overlooked it kind of stuff. And so if this was your card, I want to offer you that opportunity to just like, maybe the answer is easier than you thought. Maybe it's like, it's just as simple as creating a basic system. Maybe it doesn't have to be that complex. And then you can start to build something that's lasting, something that feels solid. It's so important to find for yourself what that right blend is of stability and instability, like, because that's where creation comes in, and that's where evolution, like life is always in a state of flux. That said, we also still need stability, right? You need roots in order for your fruits to flourish. And the 10 of Pentacles is really about that. It's like this, it's telling you that your roots are forming. You've got great roots. You might even have better roots than you realize. Like you might have more in your storehouse than you recognize. And so maybe have some fun, like ask for some guidance from your guides, from your inner guidance system about where that might be. Where is your, I keep getting this visual of this treasure chest in the basement, like it's like in the corner, everyone forgot about it. There's like this dusty blanket on it. And so you're doing your inner work, you're doing your shadow work, and then you're like, oh, what's this? And you pick up this blanket and dust it off, and poof, there's this treasure chest. Like that's the visual. So what's in your treasure chest? If you want help to maybe have that, I could support you in creating a little guided meditation around that as we explore it for you. I would love to. You can find the link below in the show notes and as a pinned comment. Yeah, fun. Okay, let's do card three. Card three, High Priestess. She is like the oracle. She's the intermediary between the divine and the spiritual and the unmanifest. And it's the first kind of like point of entry, the feminine, the body. So this is the point of entry as it begins to manifest into the physical realm. So a lot of Eastern philosophy brings us out of the body, right? We're taught to transcend the body. We're taught to seek God as though, it's this out there energy. Feminine wisdom, many of the books that had to do with early Christianity and most of Jesus's message. I mean, he had Mary Magdalene with him. It's about this embodied. It's both, right? It's taking this divine inspiration and embodying it literally, embodying it in the body, right? The High Priestess is the first point of contact. She's the second card in the major arcana. The third one is the Empress. And this is when the High Priestess has like the energies like come down and it plants itself into the Empress. The High Priestess card, though, this is before that. It's the as it's becoming manifest. This is a deep wisdom. And this is like residing between the unmanifest and the manifest. This is a very powerful place to be. This is where we have our intuition, where we have our psychic abilities, where we have, you can ask AI for all the answers, but you can also ask what I've been calling my sky dom or God or whatever. And it doesn't use up any of the natural resources to ask God to give you the answers, right? In much the same way that it feels easier for people to use AI because they can see the words on their computer screen or on their phone or whatever. But I challenge you to use your diary like you would AI and just you be the one to write the answer as though you're AI. Pretend you're channeling it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how your entry point is. If this was your card, you are really deeply like your psychic channels are wide open right now. And there's this beautiful window of opportunity for you to channel what you most need to hear for yourself and perhaps for those nearest you. It's a fun card. Enjoy this card. Blessed be. Final nugget of love. It's the return of the light this week, you guys. Allow the turning of the wheel. Allow to fall away what has been falling away. It's our clinging, right, to our old ideas or our old what we were so sure of. It's our nostalgia that holds us back and creates dissonance and discord and like shaky, wobbly. Allow what needs to go so that you can move into this next year, this new energetic pattern and this next evolutionary phase, loose, light, supple, unencumbered by what no longer fits you. I know it's scary. It can be scary, but this is my bread and butter. I'm the queen of transformation. I'm the queen of Control, Alt, Delete and starting from scratch. If you would like to connect with that energy and see that you can live to see the other side, I'm like a midwife for this. If you recognize that you're shedding a skin and you're scared and it feels vulnerable and you just need a little support with that, you just need someone to hold your hand as you move through your own transition, it would be my pleasure to do so. We can do that in the container of a card reading or a full soul path reading. You let me know what suits you best. In the meantime, my sweet and delicious and wonderful friends, welcome to this new energetic pattern. Thank you, 2025, for all that you have brought us. It has been a tumultuous year of huge growth for many, many, many of us. if you're on this channel, I almost guarantee you probably had a hell of a crazy year that you did not see coming at the beginning. And I just want to end on a beautiful note of gratitude for the mess, for the beauty, for the shine, for the sheen, for the shit. It's all here for our growth. I hope that landed. Love the video. Like it, share it with your friends. Please, you guys, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.